Hello beer tubers and welcome to yet another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppets, today joined by Brett of Venomyces doing another macro.
Oh no.
Oh no, Brett says. I was like, Brett, we have to review one of these macros because I don't know how old they are because it's Julian dating.
So we don't want to, spend our time checking it out.
Well, you don't want to age it. No, I think it's fun to do these. It's fun to actually do
checking out what
the Julian dates.
Yeah.
No, it's like, let's just drink it.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun to do these macros. It helps you understand why you're drinking craft beer, and you also sometimes get surprised at how decent some of them actually are. So now we're checking out today another American macro lager, none other than Rolling Rock. So I haven't had this beer since I studied in the States, and I do not recall whatsoever how it was. Because when I drank a beer like this or Coors Light, would be at a party where I'd already had a few. So it's not something to remember taste-wise. It was something because you were drunk. Pretty much.
And I think it still is, but...
Yeah, pretty much. But I think Rolling Rock is one of those beers that has a pretty big following.
Okay.
It's originally from the Latrobe Brewery that started in 1939, or at least this beer was. But this has been into... The Latrobe Brewery has been owned by... There's been so many people involved. Samuel Adams has done some stuff for them for a while. It's crazy. But right now, the Rolling Rock brand of beer, because they do other Latrobe does other beers, but the Rolling Rock brand is actually owned by Anheuser-Busch.
Okay.
So Budweiser owns at least this beer, but I don't know with the rest. But that's how it is with a lot of the microbreweries that were struggling and whatnot. Like brands get sold and whatever, and then one brewery owns part of the brand, and then another brewery owns the brewery, and it's been some of the similar history in Europe. Like for example, Glenbergen, the Belgian Abbey beer, it's co-owned by Heineken and Carlsberg.
Yeah. So
Carlsberg makes it for Europe and Denmark of course, but not Belgium. And in Belgium, it's made by Heineken. It's super weird. So there's always this stuff going on, but it's a pale lager. And it has a pledge to quality on the back, which is pretty interesting. And I don't know, when's the last time you had a green bottle American Pale Lager, Brett? It's been a while, right?
I don't think I've ever had like an American Pale Lager in a green bottle. It's mostly been like Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
Danish stuff.
And Pale Lagers, you've had a few though. Now you've had all the light ones we had at the party, and I guess you've also had Budweiser ones. But this one's quite famous in the States. You don't really get it in Europe. The only reason why we got it is because I got it on the store. I got the bottles of beer for the 4th of July party because they import stuff. But yeah, here we go. Latrobe's Rolling Rock, now owned by Anheuser-Busch. Well, it
is very clear.
It looks like an American Pale Lager, macro lager. Yeah. It's that like golden yellow.
Piss water.
Very light yellow. I'll say it's definitely darker yellow than the light lagers.
Yeah.
It's not completely like piss.
No.
Yellow.
It's not. Yeah, it could be even lighter. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and a white head, and actually a quite persistent head.
Yeah.
I'll say. Let's check out the aroma on Rolling Rock. It's actually not really skunky, just a little bit.
It's grainy though.
Yeah, it's definitely grainy, corny grainy.
But it's not. Yeah, I was actually expecting it to be
much worse.
And skunky.
Yeah, and it's actually not really that skunky. But maybe
it's just grainy.
Yeah, but sometimes these green bottles, the big breweries, they use this. Like Miller does, they have clear bottles, and they use like a hop oil that doesn't skunk or something like that. It's very mild. It smells kind of like what you think of if people tells you something smells like beer. It's like that beery smell, if you could say it like that.
Or if you stick your nose into like a pack of rice.
Yeah.
Because it's just so
it's
mild.
Just like ricey, corny, but I don't know if it's... The problem is there's no ingredient list or anything. There's only one...
There's no smell of hops whatsoever. It's just grains and like a ricey...
Even Miller Lite had a more pronounced hop character.
Yeah.
It's really grain.
Nothing really.
Also sweet, like a sweet kind of cereal grain.
Yeah.
Let's try Rolling Rock. Cheers.
Damn, that is so light.
It is it's like as light as a light beer is.
Wow. It almost tastes like water.
That is again beer flavored water. There we go. But this is also Rolling Rock Extra Pale. I don't know if this is like a light I don't
could
think so.
be
It looks like the Rolling Rock I remember from the States. It's like one of those cases of beer flavored water.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of the same like grainy water.
No hops.
No hops whatsoever.
There is a slight oxidized note, like this cardboard.
Yeah, a bit of a cardboardy
But
papery.
it's very light. Almost like, for some reason there I got a flavor that reminded me of potato chips. I don't know why.
Actually, the flavor is a bit weird because there's, it tastes like a lager, like a malt lager, because there's no hop presence at all.
There's maybe a little bit of hints of grass, but it's so light.
Yeah.
It's so light.
I see that. It has like a papery note, and I think it will increase as it warms.
Probably. Yeah, it's quite cold right now.
Yeah.
Straight from the fridge.
Yeah.
But it just tastes like another macro lager. It's another run-of-the-mill beer that tastes like everything else that's run-of-the-mill. It's, if this said whatever other brand from the States that's a big macro producer, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah.
There is actually a few of the macros so far we've tried that actually distincts itself a little bit.
Yeah, and
but
have like a slight hop presence, but...
Yeah, but this is one of the ones that, for me, would get lost in the mix. Like,
yeah, it's
it
just like a
be like
completely whatever.
I don't think it's horrible. I think it's just boring as all hell.
Yeah.
It's like, again, it's hop flavored water.
Yeah.
It's not a beer I would drain pour necessarily. I would drink it. If I was at a party, someone offered me a bottle, I would drink it.
I wouldn't drink it to enjoy it at all.
No, I would only... This is a drink to get drunk beer. That's all.
Yeah.
Or maybe ice cold if you've been doing whatever hard work. It could be okay.
I think when Tuborg is done well, it's like the average Pilsner for me.
Yeah.
But that
has
much macro beer.
But that has much more flavor than something like
yeah, exactly. And that's why I would put this definitely below something like Tuborg or Carlsberg Pilsner.
I still think it's above average, so I'm thinking like a 60.
Yeah, it depends again, because this numeric scale we're using is a bit different from Untapped, because on Untapped I would probably give something like a Carlsberg maybe 2.5, maybe 2.25.
Yeah.
And I would probably give this maybe a 2 or 1.75, but because of the scale we're using here, it's higher.
Yeah, an Untapped, I would actually place this at a 2.25. I think.
Yeah, I'd probably give it maybe a 2.
But I think it's like on this, like, because a 50 is an average beer.
Yeah.
And then I guess 60, I'd say that's above average. Quite high above average. 70 is where it starts to be like decent beer. So I would, maybe 60 is a little bit too high. So maybe like a 55.
Yeah. I think I'll go maybe like a 51.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beer you can drink.
Yeah, it doesn't have obvious flaws, but it's what's to flaw, because it doesn't really have any flavor. So.
Yeah. It doesn't at all. But hey, some people probably love this. So, but that's okay. You drink whatever you want.
Yeah.
So, if you guys had a chance to try Rolling Rock Extra Pale from the States, from the La Trobe Brewing Company.
Beer water for you.
Beer water for you. If you had a chance to try it, let us know. Do you have a favorite macro from the States? Let us know what it is. I don't know. Do you have a favorite?
Macro.
Of the ones we tried, it was Miller Lite.
Yeah. No, not Miller Lite.
Oh, no.
Milwaukee's best. Yeah.
That's right. Miller, what's it called? High Life is actually also kind of decent as far as I remember.
Yeah. I think the Milwaukee's best was
the best, at least from that tasting. But if you guys have a favorite macro from the States, let us know. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And we're going to say cheers and Rolling Rock.
Cheers.
And see you guys in another beer review.